Today, we are going to rank the Big Six football clubs. Liverpool, Man City, Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Chelsea. We're going to give our honest opinions on where these clubs are at, how far are they along their journey, and give honest opinions. This video has been inspired by Alice from Isilia Football, I believe it's pronounced. I will leave her video down below where she ranks every single Premier League club. But today we're going to rank just the Big Six. Now, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you go down, drop a like if you haven't already, and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. We're only about 500 away from 31K. Now, we're going to start with the best team in Europe. I thought it's only fair to start from the top. Now, Liverpool have been practically perfect this season. They are the team to beat, in my opinion. They've been so strong defensively. The best team to watch, in my opinion. I want to look at their recent results. And I want to start with the beginning of the season. Liverpool had a couple of easy fixtures, I would say, in Brentford and in Ipswich Town away. There was a lot of scrutiny, criticism online towards FSG. They didn't get the Zubimendi deal over the line. And Liverpool were very much getting pelters by practically everyone. Their fans pulling their hair out. We haven't signed anyone. FSG out. Arne Slot has no chance. And I think that just makes the job that Arne Slot has done even better. To give some context, if you're not a Liverpool fan and you don't really pay attention to other Premier League clubs, they are top of the tree in the Champions League, the Premier League, and they're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, the League Cup. They've been practically perfect. They won 15 of 17 games. And this is a side that, yes, they made two signings in the summer. Georgian goalkeeper Georgi Mamardashvili will be a goalkeeper for Liverpool next summer, joining from Valencia. And they also brought Italian winger Federico Chiesa. Now, this Liverpool side, and I mean this with my honest opinion, if they beat Manchester City in 2 or 3 weeks' time and Tottenham beat Manchester City the game before, which could happen because we are their bogey side, I think Liverpool win the league. They're 5 points clear of Arsenal. They're 9 points clear of They're 5 points clear of Manchester City. They're 9 points clear of Chelsea and Arsenal. They've won 9 of 11 games. They've scored 21 goals, conceded 6. But wait, it gets even better. Look at their Champions League form. They've won 4 out of 4 games. They have scored 10, conceded 1. They are absolutely unbelievable. And I genuinely think that as of right now, they are the team to beat. If Liverpool can get into January with a 4 to 6 point gap over Manchester City, I think it will be more. But if they can get there and bring in a midfielder of a Zubimendi type or a Tchouaméni or maybe even a Camavinga, if FSG show the real ambition that I think they could if they see Arne Slot at the top and they potentially bring in another left back who gives real competition to Andrew Robertson and Tsimikas, then I think it could be their year. They are unbelievable. They've been so good. 15 of 17 wins. Mohamed Salah, 10 goals and 10 assists. The first player to get 20 goal contributions. The fastest player in early November. Virgil van Dijk and Konate has been the best centre-back pairing in Europe right now. I don't care about Militao and Rudiger. I don't care about Saliba and Gabriel. I don't care about Bastoni and De Vrij. I don't care about, this defense, that defense. These two are the two to beat. Liverpool have been the best team. Moving down the table, Manchester City. Now, boy, oh boy, have they taken a wobble. 3 or 4 games into the season, Rodri does his anti-crucial ligament in his knee. And that basically was the beginning of this wobble that Manchester City have faced. For the first time in Pep Guardiola's career, he has lost 4 games in a row. 4 games. Against Tottenham, which doesn't surprise you because we've got a very good record at home against Manchester City. They lost to Brighton, they lost to Sporting, and they lost to Bournemouth. Now, 2 of these games, they were 1-0 up in front. They were 1-0 up against Sporting. Victor Gyökeres turns it on and absolutely dismantles this Manchester City side. Brighton, a really, really good second half performance. But in both of those games, Manchester City should have been in front. Tottenham, they played a weaker side and we just took complete advantage. And in the Bournemouth game against the Cherries, they should have been 3-0 up. But it's more than that. It's not just a wobbly defense with injuries. They're not killing teams off. As you can see, they narrowly beat Fulham, Manchester City, narrowly beat Wolves, Fulham, and Southampton. You go back a little bit further. They drew with Newcastle. They drew with Arsenal. They drew with Inter. They narrowly beat Brentford. Only this sort of period here, which was the very beginning of the season, they dismantled Ipswich and West Ham, and they beat Chelsea. Since this Rodri injury has happened, Diaz has picked up a knock, Stones has picked up a knock, and reports coming out today that Pep Guardiola is becoming increasingly frustrated with that dressing room. I personally believe right now, Manchester City, regardless of the situation they're on right now, I think they're not going to win the league. This Transfer News Live put out this tweet earlier. And sorry, not this one here. So they put out this tweet earlier. And it goes on to say, there are tensions between Manchester City dressing room and Pep Guardiola. This is not something unusual, but important to note when they've lost 4 games in a row. That is, yeah. It's not looking good if you are a Manchester City fan right now. Genuinely. You've been dismantled by Victor Gyökeres and Sporting. You've lost to Tottenham, Bournemouth, and you have lost to Brighton. And when you look at the upcoming games they've got right now, when you look at, I think they've got Fulham, I think they've got Spurs, I think they've got Liverpool. Their next 5 games are, I don't want to say make or break for Manchester City, but at the same time, they are make or break. Genuinely. We could go, it would be a Tottenham thing in the same month to lose to Ipswich and beat Manchester City. We've already beaten them this season. Now, if they lose to Tottenham and then lose against Manchester City, that's it. If they lose at Anfield and Tottenham, Liverpool could be 11 points clear. So it's make or break for them. The next team moving down the table is Chelsea. Now, Chelsea's an interesting one because where they are right now in the league has kind of surprised a lot of people. Yes, they're only above Arsenal in goal difference, but I think they've had a relatively good start to the season. They've only lost 2 games, which was against Manchester City, and I believe the other defeat was away. They have been really, really good. They've scored the second most amount of goals, or the third most amount of goals behind Manchester City and Spurs. They've been unbeaten in the Conference League, dismantling teams, scoring 18 goals in 4 games, winning 4 out of 4. Where I question Chelsea is when they have played some of the bigger sides, when they lost to Liverpool, when they drew to Manchester United, when they drew to Arsenal. But it's still 11 games into the project that Enzo Maresca wants. Yes, you can argue they're 3 years down the line in terms of the new ownership coming in. But right now, I believe they are on track to get into the top 4. I think Cole Palmer has been the second best player in the league behind Mohamed Salah. Up until game week 8, he was absolutely ridiculous, destroying teams. But he has had a little bit of a wobble in Chelsea. As you can see in their last 5 games, they've had a little bit of a wobble with only 1 win and too many draws in there for me. But I do think they will get top 4. I do think Enzo Maresca is doing a good job. And if they can add some additions in January, which we know this Chelsea ownership love to go out and spend money, if they can bring in 3 or 4 big signings, maybe Chelsea could be second or remain third. They've had a good start to the season. The team below them is the team that has surprised everyone. Now, Arsenal, for me, I predicted them to win the league. I didn't think Liverpool would be this good. I thought Manchester City would have a wobble, but I thought Arsenal would be where Liverpool were and Liverpool would be where Arsenal were. I thought Liverpool would finish third this season, and they've absolutely blown my prediction out the window. Now, Arsenal, they have also had a wobble. They have lost. They have also had a wobble. I'm not sure why Twitter was playing in the background, but yeah. So in terms of um, in terms of Arsenal this season, where they are and where they're going to finish is going to be, you know, it's going to be tough for them. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be really, really tough for them. Arsenal are in a position where do they sack their manager? Don't they sack their manager? I personally think right now, in terms of Arsenal season, they have been a little bit disappointing in the last 4 or 5 games. Now, I want to zoom in on their last 6 games where they have lost. I want to look at their last 8 games. This is where Arsenal has started having this wobble. And they've had a more of a pragmatic approach this season. But that Bournemouth game where Saliba got sent off, then follow it up by narrowly scraping past Shakhtar Donetsk. They then drew to a Liverpool side. And then these are the 4 games. Losing to Inter, losing to Newcastle, and drawing with Chelsea. And let's be honest, at the very, very end, they should have went out there and, let's be honest, they should have went out there and beat Chelsea with that chance that Trossard had. I look at Arsenal's games they've got coming up. You know, Sporting away, Forest is going to be tough. West Ham away, who knows? Fulham away. Fulham have beat them in the last couple of years. Man United with Ruben Amorim. Everton, you know, and then the new year, Villa, Spurs. Look, there's no easy game in the Premier League. I don't think at present, unless Arsenal go on a monumental run and start destroying teams, that they are going to win the league. I do think Arsenal will pick up silverware this season. Now, the question is, do you go out there and sack Mikel Arteta if you're an Arsenal fan, if they don't win the Premier League? Now, I don't. They have to win something this season. If they don't, then it's going to be hard to argue with those Arsenal fans. Right now, they are, they're fourth in the league. I do expect them to go and beat Forest, West Ham, Fulham, Everton, Monaco, Palace. The Sporting game is going to be really, really tough. This Sporting side just put 4 goals past Manchester City. Yes, Arsenal are more defensively sound than them. They're a lot stronger defensively. But I personally think Arsenal will finish. I'm still going to back them to finish in the top 3. I'm going to back them to win silverware. But right now, I don't know, that they have had a little bit of a wobble. So right now, I think they are worse off than when a lot of teams predicted they would be. The next team on the list is, we've done Arsenal, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. My beloved Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to be brutally honest. I have been massively disappointed with Tottenham this season. I thought we would be a lot better than where we are. We're sitting 10th. We've won 2 of our last 5 games. We've only won 5 of 11. We failed to beat Leicester, Crystal Palace, and Ipswich this season. I expected more from Ange. Son this season's been a little bit, picked up a few knocks and been a bit under the weather. Maddison, for me, been massively disappointing. Ange Postecoglou, if we lose to Manchester City and teams around us win, we could be sitting in, who knows, 13th if Man United win. If West Ham beat Newcastle, they're only a point behind us. I've been massively, massively disappointed. I thought more of this squad. I was fuming when we lost to Arsenal, the worst Arsenal side in terms of footballing ability, in terms of performances I have seen. But that was a big, big reality check to basically say that even Arsenal at their worst can now beat Tottenham. So yeah, that was a big, big kick in the gut for me. I've been disappointed. We are in the League Cup quarter final, and Postecoglou has always come out and said he will win silverware in his second season. So I'm going to hold him to that. I'd love to know what the narrative's going to be if we don't win silverware this season. I would love to know what it's going to be. But yeah, I've been very, very, very underwhelmed with Tottenham this season. And the last big six club is Manchester United, who have already sacked Eric Ten Hag and been diabolical this season. They've only won one Europa League game out of 4. Yes, they're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. Man United have always been good in domestic trophies. But I am going to caveat and say I think they will do really, really well under Ruben Amorim. I think he's a great manager. I think they've got all of the foundations at the club space who are back three with Lenny Yoro, with Delict, with Martinez, with Mazzauri, with Dalot. You could play a double pivot of Ugarte and Kobe Mainu. You could play, kind of Bruno as a wide forward, Garnacho as a wide forward, Rashford, and then you got the options of Xerxes or Rasmus Højlund. But I think Man United will come good. I look at their upcoming fixtures that in terms of the league table, they're only 6 points? They're on 15 and Chelsea are on 19. So they're only 4 points of top 4. You know, that's the wild thing when it comes to Man United. Look, who knows? We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you have subscribed, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.